coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today, our Thanksgiving coverage continues with a good one here between the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions. It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now gone. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they, almost to a man, told us how excited they are to be playing in this traditional Thanksgiving game. But we have to remember, this is a team that lost on Sunday. Now they get a very quick turnaround to play again. How difficult is that to do?
It's difficult under any normal circumstance when you're coming off of a loss and you have a quick turnaround. The first thing is to put the loss behind you and move forward. But when you play on Thanksgiving Day, everyone's watching you. It's an added bonus, though, because now you put the loss behind you. Get that taste out of your mouth, because the taste you want is victory, turkey.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Kaiir Elam makes a pick, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. So after the INT, it's Allen going deep for Diggs. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play here for Buffalo. 44 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
Singletary will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Right back to Swift again on second down. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. They'll try and run here with Swift. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's Jack Fox on to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now Allen. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
Oh, it's time to give real credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum.
He's got a man. Complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by Aleem McNeil.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had no command that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Touchdown, Bills! Isaiah McKenzie, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-0.
21. Lions, nothing.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now Williams loses the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
first down with Singletary. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Allen into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And the Lions are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Our game here in Detroit, a Thanksgiving tradition dating back to 1934. And it is the first of 3 games today, per usual. We'll see the Giants and Cowboys from Dallas after us. And then later tonight, the nightcap, another game with NFC North intrigue. The Pats and Vikings from Minneapolis. Once again, it's Swift. 21-0 our score after 1. Now Goff taps this forward. That's a jet sweep. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk. Why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but what do you have to say to that, CD?
I think it's a great argument, and the league could support it quite well, where you could move games to different spots and still be very successful on Thanksgiving Day. But you're exactly right. I am a traditionalist. I really don't want Detroit and Dallas to give up those slots. I like the fact that we watch them each and every year. But what I really like is that...
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Von Miller in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Allen to throw it. Uncorks one for Davis. He rifles one that's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And the Lions will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Goff in this Lions offense set for 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's going to have the first down and then some. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. One heck of a third down conversion, 33 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
A play fake for Swift, now Goff. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Terrell Bernard getting in there to drop him for a sack. On second down, Swift. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. Third and long coming up.
This defense is really floating around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, 60 yards. And the Lions are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
2nd and 5 now. Allen. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep is DJ Chark. This is taken at the 15. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now a first down throw. Goff. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
Stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. From the red zone now, Goff. And he's got it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Here's Swift. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Swift with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To the air, Allen. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Gabriel Davis in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bills would extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
And they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
On first down, they stick with Singletary. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, this is the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Right back to Singletary on 2nd down. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
Well, the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Throwing now is Allen. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Lions are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That was Terrell Bernard navigating his way to the backfield and dropping him for a loss.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Gone. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the 2nd half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there is just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And here comes a return for the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Room here to run. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. So now our referee looking at the sideline saying, are you sure? But yes, this defense has accepted the penalty. So that means they will not take possession on the fumble recovery. Well, not sure why in the world you do that, but that is apparently the decision. Now a play fake, and it's gone. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Von Miller picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And that's his second sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And partner, it's still just the third quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
He's got a man complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Jameson Williams, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions are able to cut into that deficit.
Austin Seibert on a 4-point after.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Bills 31, Lions 21.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. There's Charles Harris getting home for the sack. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Excellent job on the keeper. 20 yards and a first down. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach, or probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
Allen off the play fake. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Lee McNeil, what an effort to get in there and drop it. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line, and these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
To try again after the sack. Allen under pressure, and they got to him again. Jared Davis in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a third and long.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on third and long. Looking to throw. Allen. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And they will take over first and 10.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Goff. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Teron Johnson able to pick it. 20, 10, and he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. This defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick 6.
And how about the way they played this entire game? Not only they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick 6s, oh yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
In search of redemption from the pick 6, Goff. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. This deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
The end result, 21 yards. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Again, Goff. And my goodness, another interception. Jair Elam makes a pick. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough, but man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Singletary. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. And this will be taken at the 13. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Their own 16-yard
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles.